Okay, so I'm going to be canning some sausage patties and some hamburger meat crumbled up. So the first step that you do, I've already browned my hamburger meat, and I'm lightly browning the sausage. I'm not letting it get too done because it's going to finish cooking in the canning process. But you start off and you lightly brown your sausage patties, and when I get them finished, we'll come back and start stacking the cans. I'll flip them over one more time, make sure they're getting fairly done on both sides. And you can see that one's still pink in the center. We're going to get them done a little bit more than that. Okay, so these are sufficiently browned for now. So I'm going to transfer them over to a plate. They don't have to be hot to be canned. You can do it kind of room temperature, which is what this is going to be. Come on. Alright, I'm going to put another batch in. Okay, there's the second batch frying. These are just pre-frozen sausage patties. You can also do links, or you can do get the roll of sausage and crumble it up if you want to do canned sausage crumbles for putting in your gravy, or making sausage balls, or some kind of breakfast casserole. Just make sure that you lightly brown it because you don't want to overcook it in the canning process. Okay, when you see that they're starting to get brown up the sides, it's time to flip. I've got my stove set on medium heat, and the temperature will actually vary depending on what kind of stove you're using, but you want low medium heat. Alright, so the second batch is done, and all I'm going to do is just lightly stack them up in a wide mouth pint-sized jar. Whew, that's still hot. I'm not going to pack them in there too tightly. You know, I could easily shove one or two down the sides and it would fit. But I want it to be easy to be able to extract the sausage patties when I get them out. Okay, so there's that. And what I've done here is I've took the grease that the sausage was fried in, and I've poured it in this cup, and I'm going to divide it evenly as possible between these two jars. It's not going to cover all the jars, but after that I'm going to add water to it. And this, along with the rest of the fat and juices that break down in the meat during the canning process, is going to make like a broth for the sausage to stay in. Now, in times past, I was melting lard and putting over it, and when it solidifies, it makes a great big mess. So this is like a new way that I'm trying it. So we'll see how it does. So there went in the drippings, and we're going to put some water in, hot water. And remember your 1-inch headspace. You don't want to surpass that. Okay. Wipe the rims, put the lids and the rings on, making sure to only tighten them up finger tight. Don't ever surpass finger tight when you're canning, and that's to keep the lids from buckling under the pressure. Okay, as you can see, I got my hamburger meat in here that I browned earlier, and I've got water in there too. I have another video about how to can hamburger meat, but figured I'd do a mixture here since I'm doing sausage. Now, you can pressure can different meats together. For some reason, that freaks a lot of people out. They're very uncomfortable doing that. I don't understand why, but to each their own. All meat, whether it's beef, pork, chicken, fish, it all has to be pressure canned. 75 minutes for pint-sized jars and 90 minutes for quart-sized jars. So as long as the jars are all pint size or all quart size, you can actually can different meats at the same time. The wide mouth and regular mouth don't really matter. So this is all I've made tonight, just 4 jars of the beef and 2 of the pork. I'm going to put a little bit of water in here, not much, maybe just enough to cover the bottom plus maybe an extra ½ inch. And then we're going to put the lid on and let her go. Okay, you can see I put some water in there. It's not a whole lot. It's actually more than it looks like on camera because it has to come up past this bottom thing. Wanted to answer a question. Some people will take if they don't have enough to fill their canner, they'll take like an empty jar and fill it with water to fill out the space. That's to keep the jars upright during canning. I've never actually had that problem. So I don't mind leaving that extra space there. It doesn't bother me. But if you feel uncomfortable leaving an extra space, that's all you got to do. You just fill a jar. Don't cap it. Don't put a lid on it or anything. Just fill a jar with water and put it right there. And that'll keep them from banging together and knocking over and all that stuff. All right, here we go. All right, so I had to turn this up where you can see it. Because my light quit working on my phone. But as you can see right here, let me see if I can turn around. Oh, I need light bulbs. You can see the bottom of one jar busted, and then you can't really tell it from this angle, and I'm not about to really touch it that much because it's too hot. There we go. Maybe you can see it better. The bottom of this one busted. Reasons for that could be a number of things. Personally, I think that maybe these jars have actually been reused and reused and reused and reused and reused, and you know, eventually over time things tend to wear out. But yeah, that's a normal occurrence. That does happen, and it's really nothing to be concerned about other than the fact that you've lost that jar. The other jar that busted, I didn't realize that the bottom had busted out of it until I brought it over here to cool. And yeah, I think maybe that lid is salvageable too. But yeah, that does happen, and this jar is pretty old too, so I think that has a lot to do on it, the wear and tear on the glass over the years of constant reuse. But I have at least 4, and here's the sausage patties. They're looking pretty good. The bubbling like that is normal. And then there's my other hamburger meat. Ow, now that one is hot. But anyway, yeah, there's the final project. If you enjoy videos of this nature and want to learn more about canning and cooking and preserving, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.